What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Frontline. I'm Chris, he's Mike.
Hey, guys.
And we are here once again continuing our recap and coverage of E3. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Ubisoft conference, which surprised the hell out of me once again.
It actually surprised me as well.
It did. The game, we were thinking Bethesda obviously being our worst, or not our worst, our lowest conference so far as our favorites go. We thought Ubisoft and Bethesda were going to be side by side, but man, did Ubisoft definitely take the lead between Bethesda and Ubisoft.
With lots of surprises as
tons. Well. Out of the 4 conferences that we've seen up to this point, not counting Sony, because Sony happened after it, this was a very surprising conference.
Absolutely,
so
I must agree.
I was very happy with what Ubisoft had to offer. Now, we thought they were going to really push Assassin's Creed as their big spotlight, and they didn't. They really, truly didn't, and I got to give them credit for that because they did that once before, and it really just... Nobody really seemed into Assassin's Creed, honestly, either. There was a poll taken on Twitch. There were several polls on Twitter and stuff taken, and there was an overwhelming feeling of people not really interested in Assassin's Creed anymore. And I could understand how people feel. Assassin's Creed has been around for... We'll save it. Let's save it for when we talk about it, because it did happen, though, in this conference. And we'll save our overall thoughts for the end. Let's get into the conference. As always, we'll be talking about as stuff came out in order. And this conference spanned the PlayStation, the Xbox, and the Switch. And speaking of Switch, that's how they opened the whole thing up with Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Wow.
Michael was watching this and saying, damn, I'm going to have to get a Switch early because it is coming out in August. We had, what's his name, who showed up? Miyamoto showed up. They talked for a while. It felt great. It looked really great, too. It's a different mechanic. It had the world searching or the world questing like in a regular Mario game. But then when you get into a battle zone, the game completely takes on a brand new life.
Yeah, and a more strategic gameplay it showed as well. I mean, who would have thought that the Mario franchise would team up with the Raven Rabbits from the Rayman franchise? I mean, that was like a huge, unexpected thing. You got a nice trailer that had the teams of Mario, Peach, Luigi, and Yoshi with teaming up with the Rabbits.
And the Rabbids looked like all their counterparts as well.
And I loved how they put like a new twist of things, like what I said before, strategic, graphic-wise was like really amazing. And you were actually happy Luigi had that vacuum from Luigi's Mansion. But man, did it look great. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be able to like have the money to get the Switch because the Switch is like a big, But I am going to try to hopefully, pray to God, get it by August because I really want this game because it's like really something to look forward to. And I was in surprise, really.
Yeah, I agree 100%. It looked amazing and it felt amazing. It felt amazing. It looked amazing.
Yeah.
And it looked like it would be something that we'd enjoy playing. It felt amazing. Yeah, like I've already played it. I don't know where that came from. But anyway, I really liked that, and that was a great way to open it up. And that was not a shocker. We knew it was coming. They did talk about it, but it was a great way to open the show up. Then they went into Assassin's Creed Origin a bit more, and this is where I was saying, a lot of people, we've had Assassin's Creed for a long time.
Yes, we have.
And it was once a year. Very rarely did they skip a year or did they take a little bit more of a break. Last year they took a break for the movie. At this point, we're getting Origin. Cool. Give us the beginning of Assassin's Creed. But I feel like it's run its course. Assassin's Creed was a great game. Nobody, at this point, very few people are very interested in sticking around except the really deep Assassin's Creed fans. The ones that have been there from the beginning, that are super fans of the franchise, that want these games every year. A lot of people have kind of gotten burnt out, and we actually had comments when we did the Microsoft conference. Our good friend Bavarian was mentioning that she was burnt out on Assassin's Creed as well, and a lot of fans are just burnt out with Assassin's Creed. I feel like after Origin, it might be a good time to take a very, very long, if not indefinite, break from Assassin's Creed. I feel like at this point, it's just, that's it. And then a few people were just not happy with the setting. Egypt, they just weren't happy with that. But 'tis the way it is. Personally, I'll probably end up getting Assassin's Creed Origin later on. Not when it first releases. I'll probably wait till the price goes down a little bit, and then I'll probably jump into it. I do want to grab Syndicate then, and the one that's on the PS3, just to have a full collection, because other than that, I have the full collection of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Have I finished them all? No, but I have the full collection. Moving on, a game that surprised me and Michael, The Crew 2.
Oh, yeah.
That was... Now, if you like racing games, if you like cars, if you like boats, if you like planes, if you like motorcycles, monster trucks it looked like, tons and tons of different, motorsports, all in this one game.
Right, and it was like all over the place. Like, yeah, planes in the sky, you had mountains over on the sides and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like all those vehicles and everything that's in there that you would use as the modes of any type of
yeah,
thing.
I was
wow.
very into it.
I was stunned by that.
I definitely am thinking of getting The Crew. That looked really cool. Crew 2. I'm not really a racing fan, but man, when you throw in cars, boats, motorcycles, if you're throwing everything at me, shoot, I am interested. You know, it just looking at it and looking at, becoming the champion of all motorsports, that definitely caught my eye.
And when did we ever get a motor game? Since Jet Moto, I believe? I mean, it's been quite a long time, actually, since we've gotten that.
So maybe it's time that we tried, like I said, we were trying all different things when it comes to gaming lately. Why not try this as a racing game, just like we want to try a couple of other games that are already out that are racing.
Exactly.
Then you got South Park, the Fractured Butthole. This is another game. This is another game like its predecessor. Just like Assassin's Creed, I'll let it come out. I'll let it, be out for a while, and then I'll probably pick it up when the price drops for the game a bit. I like the game. I love South Park. I'm a fan of South Park. But at the same time, I never even played the first one yet. I have it, but I haven't really played it yet. So there's no reason for me to run out and get this game yet.
Yeah, I mean, me too. Like, I like South Park, but it's just... I don't know. It's like the story is kind of being a little bit... It's like we've already had... Like, how much more of the ideas can South Park give to us?
Right.
And how do we know if we're actually going to enjoy it? I mean, I'm not saying that's set out to be a good or bad game.
I think we will because they delayed it a lot because they really wanted to work on it. They wanted to work hard on it. I'm sure it'll be good, but again, with so many other games that I'm really looking forward to coming out, and it's in October of all months, I'll probably wait on it. Maybe ask for it for Christmas. Maybe ask for it as down the line. I'll grab it when it's cheaper. But I don't see myself getting it on day of release just because we are going to be so overwhelmed with games. If it would have come out when it was set to come out, which was, I believe, the beginning of this year sometime, I probably would have got it. January. It was January. And then they pushed it to February. And then they pushed it all the way to October. If it came out at the beginning of the year when there were less games, definitely would have grabbed it because there was nothing really coming out. But October, November, I mean, after seeing all the conferences up to this point, there are a lot of games coming out in November and October. There's got to be a cutoff. And that's why with this game, along with several others, I'm just going to sit on it for a bit and wait and let the price drop or wait till down the line when we don't have anything new to buy to go back and get it. Transference was basically just a teaser. I think we're going to get it. I think they said it's coming in 2018, so I'm sure we'll probably see another trailer for it next year, like get an idea.
And somewhere down the road for that.
All it showed was it was going to be VR. It's going to be a VR game. It had Elijah Wood and a few other actors in it, and they were talking about being a part of the virtual world. And really, we didn't get an idea of what the game is. We just got a really massive, star-studded teaser trailer. Right. So I'm guessing this is going to be one of those trailers that goes into E3 2018, where we'll finally get what the game is, get a release date, which will probably be holiday 2018, and then go from there.
Right.
Looked interesting, though. Wouldn't you agree?
I would actually agree so, for that.
Definitely. Now, Skull and Bones. Now, we had Sea of Thieves for Microsoft yesterday, and it looks really great to the point where we definitely want to get Sea of Thieves. Skull and Bones is coming out in 2018, and it looks like a mature version of Sea of Thieves. Like a more...
Because it showed the more...
Yeah, remember I told you we needed something more... Like, this one is something that a lot of people, like, everyone could play. It's like an all-ages game. This one looks more like it's a mature version, like an M or a T to M rated game.
Yeah, and the pirate ships and everything were, like, really designed really marvelously. And then the whole thing... Mostly, I've been seeing like a lot of pirate games. I mean, I'm liking how they're reaching out to more pirates in the indie games and stuff like that.
And what I liked was they said they were inspired by Assassin's Creed Black Flag, because Black Flag obviously
Was about
brought
pirates.
brought in the pirate ships and stuff, and they were so inspired by it that they wanted to actually make a multiplayer game like that, and we got to see gameplay on it. We got to see movies on it, and I loved how after seeing it all and it looked great. They ended up robbing the ship. They ended up having to run away because they have the pirate hunters whom you can't beat. And then, after talking about the game for a bit, the guy's like, just remember one thing though: everything you do, every action has a reaction in the world. And then it goes back to the gameplay, and you see a giant squid under the pirate ship.
Yeah, just like what you see in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Whoa! I'm hoping we get like a Moby Dick, like a big whale. I hope we get a gigantic whale as well. Could you imagine all the crazy stuff? You got giant squids, huge whales. We're talking, there could be a lot of, there's a lot of things that we worry about in the deep.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a giant shark, megalodon possibly. There's 3 monster possibilities right there that are believable. They're believable. Megalodon used to exist. Giant squids used to exist. Same thing with Moby Dick, the giant white whale. Possibility that it's out there. So these are all things that could be part of this, and there's so much potential for Skull and Bones. Sea of Thieves comes out, I believe, this year. Skull and Bones comes out in 2018. There is time for this game to really learn from what Sea of Thieves, the criticism of Sea of Thieves, and make itself even better before it's released.
Absolutely.
I'm definitely down for that. I've never truly played, and I just said I have all the Assassin's Creed, so I have Black Flag, but I've never played it. And, I've never honestly played a dedicated pirate game. And between this and Sea of Thieves, I think I'm going to really get into a pirate's life for me. Hey, you are a pirate. So I was blown away by that. And then we had Just Dance. If you're a Just Dance fan, you're going to be dancing and happy about it. Yeah, that's it. Then we got a mobile app, the South Park Phone Destroyer app, which basically is exactly like South Park's other 2 games. It's an MMO, but on your phone, and it acclimates being on a phone on a mobile device. It looks cool. If you're a South Park diehard, you're going to want this game. Me personally, no.
No. Neither will I.
All right. So then we got Starlink Battle for Atlas.
Now, Starlink...
Yeah, I'm going to let you start it, because this is something that really they promoted more on the Switch, but it can be on the Xbox and PlayStation.
Well, from what I saw is that, you have a little boy who, or girl, I think, was it?
I don't know. It was all about the ship.
No, it was like the robot thing. Where
Starlink was the ship that you can put together.
Oh, you mean for the Switch and everything? Okay, yeah, I'm thinking of something else. Yeah, that was really awesome how you got to put it together, and then on the Switch, it actually shows you what it looks like. Like that's
basically
what I like.
It looks like
they're bringing creativity to the game.
I like it. It's
like
collectibles.
Also.
It's collectibles with games. I mean, we've seen that with the Amiibos. We've seen that with Skylanders. We see that with Disney Infinity. And now you have this other game which you can buy expansions for starships, and as you're playing the game, you could add these pieces to your starship, and then it's translated into the game. So you could have, they showed you a standard starship, and then this guy added a piece to both of the wings, and it showed up in the game then. And then he just put a brand new big piece of the ship on, and it appeared in the game. And as you go through the game, you add more. And obviously, these will obviously be add-ons that you buy in the store. Now, the question is, and this is what will make this game a buy or skip for me, is if the pieces are affordable. You're talking now, when we talked about Skylanders and Amiibos are about $10, $11 a pop. Skylanders are anywhere from $15 to $20 a pop, depending how big or small. If these pieces of a ship, right, are, like, small pieces alone are more than $10, that's a waste of money. Unless they give you a gigantic, like a whole box worth of pieces or a whole playset worth of pieces, I can't see these things going for more than $10 a pop, unless you get like a pre-assembled plane or ship, so to speak, and then you can take pieces off and obviously put it on the ship that you get with the game. Unless that, this game will not make it if it doesn't have affordable accessories to go with it. And then the game itself has to deliver, which it looked like it delivered. It looked like it got it looked like it had a stride to it. I don't know if I'll buy it because, once again, the expansions are what kind of take me out of it. Not saying it's a bad thing. It's very good. It's good that games are kind of reaching into physical as well as video games. So, I mean, if you're not playing the game, you can display your starship somewhere. But, again, it's the cost. The cost. And if you're like us and you buy a lot of games, the cost of expansions and add-ons is a little bit more. Depending on how much the ships are, depending on how much we have to put into the game. You can buy the stuff digitally instead if you don't want to buy the physical stuff, which I think that is also cool. So if you don't want the physical stuff, you can get the digital stuff. It all depends. It depends how much, I would say, right?
I would say so too.
So, then Steep came on. There's going to be some expansion. The Olympics for 2018.
Yes.
We don't own Steep. We didn't buy it when it came out, so the expansion or the add-on to the game really didn't matter to us. I think it's great. If you own Steep, you're definitely going to want this expansion, but personally it didn't do anything for me.
Neither did it for me either.
Yeah,
like I was looking, I'm like, Olympics, yeah.
I was kind of let down by the beta for Steep.
I mean, I'm not an Olympics type video game. I mean,
Yeah,
Mount Soccer, the
speak
Olympic
to me.
Games, yeah, but I'm talking about like the real Olympics. Like I don't.
Yeah,
really...
this game, the original Steep game, didn't speak to me. It spoke to a lot of people, though. A lot of people enjoyed it. Me personally, no, not for me. So then we got an expanded Far Cry 5. We got the trailer again, and then we got some actual gameplay and mechanics explained to us. And I'm ready for Far Cry.
Yeah,
I am
I
definitely
can tell.
ready for Far Cry 5. We find out that you're going to have a system where you can have people working for you. That the main character told one of his followers to go up on the water tower, snipe down. You got to see the sneak mechanic. We got to see some weapons go off. And we find out that, it's a town in Montana that's cut off. There's no frequencies. There's no cell phones out, no way to call for help. Roads are blocked. Everything is closed off, and you are trapped. So now you have to fight to destroy these religious crazy people and survive Montana and then escape, obviously.
Of course.
It looks really good. I have been playing Far Cry since I believe it was Far Cry 2. I could be wrong and it's 3. I do know for PlayStation 3 we got the 3-in-1, the 1, 2, and 3. But I did play 3, I did play 4. I still have to play Primal, and then there's 5. So I'm looking forward to Far Cry 5 just because I've been following the series since its early days, and it's always been a fun enjoyment. Now, I know a lot of people, the previous Far Cries have gotten flack for multiple reasons, whether it be the people you're killing, the places you're in, or what you're doing in the places you're in. This Far Cry does not change anything. There are still people that are upset, where it's taking place, who the bad guys are. Again, it's just one of those things where the game, no matter where it goes or who the bad guys are, it's going to get some flack from somewhere. This time it's a different group. Far Cry 6 will have a different group. Far Cry 7 will have a different group, all the way through until Far Cry is completely done. Exactly. There's no way, you can't make everybody happy. So I'm sure that Far Cry 5 is getting flack from people already because they don't like who the bad guys are or where you're at. But again, I say, look, it's Far Cry. It's going to be a fun game. If you can forget about where you're at and who you're fighting, it's going to be a fun game. Primal looks amazing. I can't wait. I want to play that before Far Cry 5 comes out. Mm-hmm. What did you think? I mean, you really didn't say too much. I know it's not your type of game. This is going to be my game to play, if anything, but you saw it.
Like, what I liked about it is that the story looks like it's going to be really amazing, as well as like what you're going to be doing in the game. Like I looked at the game and I know that this is more along the lines of your style because, like you said, you've been playing the Far Cry series, and I think that Far Cry 5 is going to, take a next step level beyond what we saw in the other Far Cry video games in the past. And I think it's going to actually be something new and improved to look forward to.
Yeah, they always look to add better graphics, better looking stuff, better...
Well, yeah, that's what every video game you play.
And the jump in and out. Remember they were showing how friends could jump in and out of the game at any point for multiplayer?
Oh, yeah, they did that.
That was cool
that
also.
Was also cool.
And that was introduced in 4, I believe. I don't know if it made it to Primal, but it's going to be back for 5, and that's awesome.
Absolutely, so there could be 2 players on there.
Right, so I think that this game, it's going to get flack, like I said, but it looks so good. I don't care. It's a video game. I mean, It's just a video game. Everybody's, you're going to insult somebody somewhere, especially when you get involved with places, real ethnicities, real people, or real religions or whatever. You're going to upset somebody. For me, I'm not thinking of it as, oh, I'm killing this group of people or I'm this group of people. I'm thinking of it as it's Far Cry. I've played Far Cry. I know what to expect from Far Cry. I know what I'm going to be doing most of the time in Far Cry. So that's what we're going to be doing is Far Cry. And then finally we got the big surprise. The big surprise. Now only fans or gaming, I don't want to say fans, only gamers from way back when, because it's been about 15 years since this game has seen the light of day. And actually the first one, the number one game, the first one is coming to at least PlayStation in a remastered HD. But we got a surprise trailer for Beyond Good and Evil 2. And this game is going to prequel what happened in Beyond Good and Evil 1. It's the prequel to it. And when it started, I really didn't like it. I mean, you remember, I was looking at it, you got this monkey, and he's talking to this guy who's a pig, and it's like, oh, it's going to be one of those games where the people you play as are animals, and the girls are humans still, and it's like, I don't know how I feel about it. It doesn't look good. And then you got the scene where there was the chase. When he got on the bike, and then when he ended up bringing the data back. It looked really cool. And you saw how passionate the creators were, because when the guy came out, it looked like he was crying because he was so happy that it was, I guess it was a surreal moment for him because he never thought it was going to happen possibly, or maybe they didn't think they'd be there for number 2.
I think with the creativity and the amount of work you put into it, you feel very proud of your accomplishment of what you did. And just to see that become a reality on the big screen, even at a convention, at a conference, that it made it, because not a lot of things make it to conferences.
I was very happy.
Wow.
I thought it looked great. Michael and I are actually going to look into, you can join the, I forgot what it was called, the Primal
the PS
project.
View?
It's some type of a project. Basically, it keeps you up to date with the release stuff for Beyond Good and Evil 2.
You mean the Ubisoft website?
Yeah, you go on Ubisoft and you can sign up and get the shirt that says you're part of the project.
I think it was .store or something.
I have it. I have the link saved somewhere. But
yeah.
I thought it was great, and it was a perfect way to end the conference with a reveal that nobody saw coming, and it came. Now, there were a few people who wanted Splinter Cell. They were praying for it. I'm sorry you guys didn't get it. I wanted it too. I really did. I wouldn't have minded, or Siphon Filter. I was hoping for either or. Siphon Filter or Splinter Cell, either one. I was just hoping for something, especially because in the Division you have the Splinter Cell goggles right there on the table. Every time I walk into the main base and they're there, I'm like, is this Ubisoft's way of saying at some point soon they're going to have it? Maybe next year, maybe it's not ready yet, who knows, but I'm hoping we get a Splinter Cell, and I'm hoping we get a Siphon Filter at some point. I really do. I really am. It's been years. I mean, those were like PlayStation games.
They were, actually.
And PlayStation 2. I would love to see some. And Splinter Cell made it to PS3, but I would love to see one of those two games come back. I truly and honestly would. So Ubisoft, if you're listening, definitely try to get one of those two games, or both of them even, back to us. We'd love to see those again. I think Ubisoft delivered a really great array.
Yeah, only an hour and a few minutes over, actually.
An hour and 18 minutes about?
Yeah, I would say about an hour and 18 minutes it was.
But it delivered.
But it did deliver.
It delivered
Very
for that hour. Definitely giving it a high grade. At the end of this, I don't know what Mike and I are going to do yet. We might do a live stream at the very end of the whole conference, maybe on the weekend, or maybe we'll talk about it on Dark Avenger Live, and it'll be like EA.
Maybe we should do it on Dark Avenger
Live. I think we might, and Dark Avenger Live will be like an EA specific show, so definitely be available Friday.
It's perfect.
I think it would fit perfect as well. So we'll discuss all this again on Friday. So if you are around on Comic Frontline, Friday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Mike and I do a show called Dark Avenger Live, for those of you that don't know, and I'm going to keep the list of all these games, and we will definitely talk about it. And Mike's going to have to make a list and send it to me for Nintendo then.
I am. I told you I was going to look it over tomorrow, and I was going to send it to you.
So we will definitely try to cover as much as we can when it comes to the live stream. We'll talk about all the stuff again that we liked, that we didn't like, etc., etc. So, Ubisoft, wow, this convention definitely surprised the heck out of me this year so far. Now, there's still one convention for me and Mike, and then Michael is going to take the helm for Nintendo mostly. But I mean, Mario Rabbids itself was really cool. So who knows? I mean, there's got to be some other really awesome stuff coming out of Nintendo.
Well, we're gonna find out.
And Miyamoto's there, so that means that they are there at E3. So the conference must be at E3.
Yeah, they are. The website said that they're all joining together.
Oh, good.
All of them.
Good.
It's all in one convention.
Good. So we'll see what happens with Nintendo. But this was awesome. This is an awesome conference. Stay tuned. We will be doing Sony right after this video. And then tomorrow, now you're seeing these on these two videos, this one and Sony on Wednesday morning, on Tuesday mornings, which means on Wednesday morning you'll probably be seeing Michael's unless he gets it done quick and it gets up on Frontline early. But we have Frontline live on Tuesday, so more than likely it'll probably be Wednesday morning unless it gets, like I said, it gets processed and put up really quickly. But these are going to be going up on Tuesday morning, so hopefully you guys are enjoying these recaps and our coverage. We'll be back in the next video with the Sony conference. Yep. We are Comic Frontline, your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. If you're new to the channel, click that sub button. This way we're in your sub box. We talk about a wide variety of things. We have videos coming out each and every day. We have at least 3 live shows every single week, 2 of which I've already mentioned on the show. The other one being Media Madness. If you like movies, TV, and stuff like that, check out Media Madness. And then, of course, we have other live shows that pop up every now and again that are not part of the normal schedule of the 3. And yeah, check out comicfrontline.com. These videos on YouTube. If you go on Frontline.com, all the trailers for all the games that we talk about, or even the hardware that we've talked about, follow right underneath this video. So if you want to see any of the games that we're talking about, check out ComicFrontline.com, click the article, you'll see this video, which you're watching right now, and then right underneath it will be all the trailers for all the games that we talked about, that we watched, even some gameplay videos. Jay has been doing an awesome job of posting all of the trailers and stuff with our video together on Frontline. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you guys really soon in the next video. Keep reading and collecting, as always.
See you there.